Hi guys. Okay, it is September 25th, 2018, and this is our team call. We have Marley as our guest speaker today talking about Shakeology. We did a diamond dash together. We did not know each other. Brenna and I posted in, I think it was the team, the like diamonds page Brigida has that you guys will all be in eventually when you get to diamond. Um, and it's like a leadership page and it's really cool. And we just kind of posted like, hey, we want to run a diamond dash. We've never done this before. We have no idea what we're doing. Anybody down? And Marley was like, I'm down. And we like met. We really have never met before. And then now like I just am in love with Marley and admire her. And I'm so glad that this business brought us together. So Marley is pushing for 1-star qualifying. She is a rock star on Instagram. You should definitely follow her. And we just are collaborating a lot about taking our business to the next level. But one thing that Marley, and I'll let her tell her story, but one thing that we noticed in the Diamond Dash planning is that Marley has incredible knowledge about Shakeology and what it does for your body, and then how she specifically used it for her children, and how what attracted her to the business was basically the positive side effects of Shakeology, which is not the story of everybody, and it's such a unique, awesome story. And so it just shows that you can talk about Shakeology and get like amazing results if you're not afraid to talk about it. And so, but when we know better, we do better. So I was like, Marley, please host or guest speak on my team call about Shakeology so that we can be more knowledgeable, so we can talk about it just more easily instead of being scared to talk about Shakeology, which I know I was for like ever. So I'm just going to let you take it away. I'm going to mute myself, and I have my notepad out, and I will be putting the camera like this so you can't see me breastfeed a baby. So take it away, Marley.
Okay.
You're muted. Try again.
Okay. Sorry, I got a pop-up came up and I was like, okay. So, like she said, my name is Marley Mulbar and I'm so excited to be on this call. Shakeology holds a very near and dear place in my heart because I was the mom who needed to lose about 20 pounds. I have 3 kids, 5, 3, and 4, and my 2 boys were 13 months apart. So, I mean, I definitely didn't have time to lose the baby weight before another one. So I needed to eat healthier. I felt bad all the time. I was constantly having anxiety attacks and panic attacks. So there was a lot of things that I needed this business for, but I just wasn't ready. I was not, and you'll get that a lot where people need the business and all the benefits that you need from it can help them, but they are just not wanting to help themselves. But as me as a mom, I really, I will do anything for my kids, and I'm sure that's any mom. So I'll kind of give you the short version of the story. When my daughter was in 2nd grade, she was diagnosed with dyslexia, and her dyslexia is intensified with stress and anxiety. So she went from a daughter who was bubbly and happy and super energetic all the time to stressed out, panic attacks, total mental breakdowns. And when we found out about it, and that it was through stress, stress and anxiety was affecting her so negatively in school and just every aspect of her life, sports, whatever it was. They wanted to put her on some sort of, stress reliever, antidepressant. And I'm like, she's in 2nd grade. Like, there's no way that that's even a possibility. So I had been following my coach for about a year, just watching her, work out and do her thing. And I had no intentions of helping myself, even though I definitely needed to. So she had made a post that how amazing it was and how natural these stress relievers were in Shakeology that she was drinking. So I had seen a few posts about that, and so right when I knew that my daughter needed it to be able to get over this. You'll never get over dyslexia. Dyslexia is just the way that your brain was formed, but you can definitely come up with the foundations needed to overcome it in life. Steve Jobs, there's so many examples of really amazing, successful people, but with her stress and anxiety levels at where they were, she would never be able to get to the point she needed to without those being brought down. So, long story short, she is totally thriving now. Almost 2 years later, she is trying out for the oral reading team. And if you know very much about, I can't even, this is the hardest part. If you know much about dyslexia, they have a really, really hard time reading. And whenever we started Shakeology, she was almost 2 years behind in reading, and it did not look like it was going to get any better. Her spelling was horrible. She's hit top reader a couple of times last year in her school. I mean, there's just so many amazing things because she's been able to control and have the her been able to work past and learn the foundations needed to get past dyslexia. So what I did is I just became this amazing research mom. What can I know all about it? What is it doing? How is it shaping my daughter? What affects her? And so that is why I just, whenever I found out all this like super crazy details about Shakeology, everything, I loved it all. So now I'm going to share a little bit of it with you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And I'm sorry, I had a cute little slide, and then when I was trying to transfer it from Canva over, it wouldn't let me. So we're just going to do it on Canva. So I apologize. So tonight I'm just going to talk about Shakeology. So we always hear the word superfood shake, but what is superfood exactly? What are the benefits from superfoods, and how can we use those benefits and like the value from it to benefit our customers and possibly coaches as well? So first of all, what is a superfood exactly? So a superfood can essentially be classified as any food item that contains an extremely dense concentration of vital nutrients, vitamins, and or minerals, as well as antioxidants, good fats, healthy enzymes, or any other healthy properties that help treat, lower the risk, or prevent specific diseases and ailments. So basically, it is way more than just your multivitamin. Like, think of a superfood as those key ingredients of like vitamin C, the antioxidant, vitamin D, the calcium, all those things, but mega dosed into a specific nutrient that actually heals our body instead of just treating what you're sick for. So Shakeology is actually broken down into 4 different properties. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the protein blend. So there are 2 different types of protein blends in Shakeology. So you have your regular and you have your vegan. Now, something that is unique about these is the particular whey content. And whey just means is that the protein is put together with animal byproducts. So with that, it's a little harsher. So women, especially women who are trying to say they've lost a good amount of weight with Shakeology, using it as a meal replacement, eating clean, but they just can't quite get that muffin top gone or quite those abs. That's because women don't digest the whey or the animal products quite as well, or any type of dairy like that. So I always suggest for women the vegan, which is a plant-based, and it has 9 essential amino acids for muscle building. So you're still going to build muscle, you're still going to get the protein you need, but you're not going to have the bloating and kind of the inflammation effects that as a woman that you would if you drink the whey or the regular Shakeology. So there's a couple of things that I really love about it. Oh, I just said that the vegan is easier to digest. So there is a lot of superfoods, but I'm just going to highlight a few per particular blend that I go over. And so the first one that I'm going to go over is the Sacha Inchi, and I'm probably totally botching these, but they're here so you can see at least how they're spelled. And so this is a powerful, super, super powerful omega-3 for fat. And what omega-3s do is they give you brain food. They take away the brain fog for one. And anytime you eat an omega-3, it actually keeps you in fat burning mode longer. So this particular type of ingredient helps you really get, that's where a bunch of the weight loss comes from. So when people say, oh, I just have my, I have my protein shake, don't worry about it. Well, they're probably just drinking kind of a chemically based way. They're not drinking a superfood that is a powerful omega-3. And so another thing is that it also produces a lot of serotonin. So if you don't know what serotonin is, that is like the goodness in your brain. That's what keeps you in a good mood. That's what keeps you happy. And a lot of people tell me, and you probably have experienced it too, being on Shakeology keeps you a lot happier. You're just in a better mood. You're just all over. Wellness is more joyful. And it also helps to reduce cravings because it is not chemical based. And I'll go over this in a little bit more, but anything that is chemical based or like artificial sweetener based, those are going to work negatively against you and cause the sweet cravings. So we don't have any of that with it being amino acid based and more than natural plant based. So, and of course, being a superfood is not going to be a chemical. So the next thing that I'm going to go over is the antioxidant blend. So I could have really highlighted every single one of them, but I want to encourage you to do your own research. I'm just going to go over kind of the main ones and then kind of highlight what they do as a whole. So there's two that really kind of work together as a great team. And so that's going to be the antioxidant blend and the adaptogens blend. They're going to do some of the exact same things. So what is an antioxidant and what does it do? I know we hear that a lot for grapes or wine, some, types of fruits. Those are antioxidants, and you hear it sometimes in face wash, but what does that mean? So it's a substance that inhabits oxidation, especially when used to counteract like stored food products. So when we eat anything that has an artificial sweetener in it, sucralose, high fructose corn syrup, and whether it's in hydrogenated oil, that's also a negative. Anything that has the negative dyes, basically that's not real food, that is an added chemical, those things our bodies do not know how to digest. So naturally, God created us to be able to have proteins, to be able to have the antioxidants, to be able to have the fats, and to be able to have like regular cane sugar and be able to digest those. That's a waste and it digests right away. But when it is a chemical, our body looks at it and gets a big question mark. It's like, what the heck is this? I don't know. So it bounces around in our bodies as a free radical. And so that may be another word you hear a lot on face wash commercials and things. So a lot of people's acne and bad skin problems actually starts from the inside out versus the outside in. And so the antioxidants find that negative, stored fat or stored food products. And it also, the difference in an antioxidant benefits versus the adaptogens is the antioxidant doesn't just do the chemical bases like more adaptogens do, but the antioxidant goes in, and it is actually possible to eat too much protein and it actually turn negatively into glucose, which is sugar that can cause weight gain. So when our muscles have a maximum amount of protein that it can have on a daily basis, and when we eat over that it doesn't have anywhere else to go. And especially if you're losing weight, it doesn't have the stored fat to go into. So then it turns into glucose and it turns into sugar and then creates a stored fat at that point. So an antioxidant says, oh, hold on, protein. I know that you're too much and I know you don't have anywhere to go. Let's get you digested before you turn into glucose and sugar. So another thing that antioxidants do, and it's one of the most popular things, is it's a huge, big time immune boosters and anti-aging properties. So when we don't have all those free radicals in our body bouncing around, it actually keeps our skin a lot clearer, and it helps prevent wrinkles, and it helps prevent dry skin. It helps keeps us balanced. And it also prevents acne and skin irritations like several rashes or eczema, things like that. So because a lot of times when you have a skin issue, that is goes back to bad health and bad gut health. And when you have an unbalance, your body is in inflammation mode. And inflammation means where you basically hit your arm and it's a little bit swollen. Well, all of your insides are swollen until that negative, whether it's extra protein, whether it's a chemical, junk food, whatever it is, until that's sorted out with the antioxidants and actually digested, it's going to affect our skin and the way we look. So getting rid of all that junk actually helps us look younger. And so that's always a benefit for sure. So this is my very, very, very favorite ingredient in the antioxidant blend, and it is the Camu Camu Superfood. So in fact, I didn't get it, but I'm actually going to show you. I'm sorry. So I know this is only basically supposed to be over Shakeology, but the amazing thing about Shakeology is it has kind of your daily dose to keep you like healthy. So anytime you have different seasons in life, like flu season where it's colder, if you had some sort of health issue and you needed to hurry and boost your immunities to get over it, there's different seasons where your body needs extra boosters. And so Beachbody actually has, it's part of it's called the Beachbody Ultimate line. You have to purchase them individually, a little bit different than you do Shakeology, but they have specific superfoods that you can double up on to really help with that. So Camu Camu is a superfood, and it's 60 times stronger than an orange. So it's 60 times stronger than just giving your child vitamin C. Last year during the flu, it was so bad here. These poor kids, it lasted like 3 months. Some kids were getting it 2 and 3 times. They were out of school for like 10 plus days. We never got it one time. And the way we didn't get it was with the superfood shake, the Shakeology Daily. And then we actually, let me move my thing. I'll post a picture, but basically this is from the Ultimate line, and it's called Optimize. And it is just basically giving your child the vitamin C or the different things over the counter, but it is, instead of doing that, you're giving them straight Camu Camu superfood, so it boosts their immunity. So they come in capsule form, and I just break them open and just put them in their shakes, shake it up, and then they have those extra boosters to be able to get through school. So that was really beneficial to us last year. Okay, so then I think these actually, let me see. Okay, so then the next one.
Question, is that in Shakeology?
Yes.
Okay, but then what you get is just extra for cold season. Perfect. Just making sure. Sorry, it's just my head here.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So then the next one that's really good is the Goji Berry Superfood. So this is really cool because this is where a lot of your energy boosters are going to be. And I actually tried a Goji Berry one time. It is not very good. So I'm thankful that we can it's actually a little bit spicy. It's really weird. So I was expecting more of a fruit flavor, and it's not. So I'm thankful to be able to get it in the Shakeology blended up, but this is where the majority of the energy boosters are going to be. And it also is really good for building collagen. So if like I turned 30 this year, any extra collagen I can get is going to be amazing. And it's also going to help rebuild everything we need, because you actually have about 5 layers of collagen that your skin needs to really be at its healthiest and at its glowing level. So I thought that was really neat. These got a little bit out of order. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the adaptogens. This is my ultimate favorite, and this is the reason my daughter is where she is today. So the adaptogen blend, basically what an adaptogen is it's a natural substance considered to help the body adapt to stress and to exert a normalizing effect upon the bodily processes. So basically, when we are stressed out or we're overwhelmed or we're nervous or we are uneasy for any reason, our stress levels rise. And when our stress levels rise, it also causes our brains to put out extra, serotonin, or not serotonin, but that makes you sleep. Cortisol. And then cortisol, for example, my mom, she is a dispatch supervisor. So anytime you're stressed out, that is the body's reaction to save you from something. So when she's taking those calls on a daily basis and she has a call that was really ugly, maybe the person was hurt or the child was lost or she had to do CPR, her adrenaline is running and she has all that cortisol and running in her body. So what happens whenever the call's over, she's not using that energy to work out or using that energy to run, to get away from whatever she's scared from. She's just sitting there. So all that does is it sits and it just kind of, when there's nowhere for it to go, it just goes into your stored fat and creates belly fat in women. So to be able to keep our stress levels down and to be able to control ourselves more, it actually fights against our belly fat a lot too. And it also relieves free radicals. So that's a little bit what I talked about earlier. When we eat anything that has a negative substance to it. So I know a lot of people come into this and they immediately, who are uneducated, go straight to the low fat, no fat, special K. They go to the diet type foods to be able to, because they think this is more of a diet versus a lifestyle. Well, what they're doing is there's not sugar, like regular cane sugar in there. So it can say fat free or, sugarless. Have you seen on boxes where it says no sugar? It doesn't have the cane sugar, so it's not lying to you, but it has the chemicals of the artificial sweeteners, which are in the main ones that you're going to find, especially in kid foods, are going to be the high fructose corn syrup, the cellulose, which is like Splenda, and Equal. All of those things are very negative to our bodies because they're chemicals, so they don't know what to do. So they bounce around in our bodies and cause us to, because when something's in our body, it's just like, think about a lot of people who eat late at night, they aren't able to actually go right to sleep because if anything is in our body automatically says digest, use energy, provide energy to be able to digest it. Well, that is what your body's doing. Whenever it has a bunch of free radicals bouncing around, your body is saying, relieve these, get rid of them. What is it doing? This is wrong. It shouldn't be bouncing around. So it's causing your stress levels to rise and rise and rise and be higher because your body is unsure of what to do with these bouncing around. So that's what I love the most about it, because turning into the clean eating lifestyle and getting away from all of those, her body, like my daughter's, for example, does not have to fight against the free radicals and the stress relief. It can just go straight into controlling her stress. So with this being said, adaptogens are also super amazing cancer fighters. And the more research that I do, I actually get, this is a little off subject, but not really. I get a little frustrated with cancer and doctors and companies, because there are so many amazing fighters for cancer just in these superfoods that are in Shakeology, because a lot of times cancers are based upon inflammation negative in your body. So like, for example, a lot of people that have breast cancer, a lot of it started from negative or like over estrogen in their bodies, and it just inflamed until it turned into a tumor or it turned into a mass, and then that's where it was. Well, by these superfoods, it goes in and it fights it at the tumor itself. Where a lot of times if you have cancer or chemo, it will take away your good cell, your white blood cells, and the bad cancer cells. So your whole body is shut down, and that's how they get so sick. So a lot of the times it's not so much the cancer that's making them so sick as much as depleting everything in their body. So if they actually possibly did more of these superfoods, the mortality rate would be a lot better. So chaga is one of the amazing ones. It is the #1 mushroom right now, and because of its mega cancer fighters, there is not a huge dose in there. So like if someone has cancer, you couldn't just say drink Shakeology and you'll be healed. Like they would have to do a little bit extra, obviously, kind of like when it's flu season and I add in the extra camu. But it also does lower cholesterol, and I think that's huge because a lot of people high cholesterol is a result of high stress as well. And so that's something that I didn't realize before. So a lot of times if you have high cholesterol, you have high stress levels as well. Okay. So another one that I really, really love is the ashwagandha, and I think I said that completely wrong. And it does a lot of amazing things. So it fights our fatigue and infections, and it actually goes in and helps us with our mood, because when we are stressed out, obviously we turn into like this crazy monster mom. But when we're controlled, when we're relieved, when we don't have all those stresses in our bodies, we're a lot nicer. And I love the fact that it fights infection, because again, most things that are wrong with you start with inflammation, start with an artificial sweetener or a chemical that is in our body. The body inflames, says, no, we don't need that, and causes infection, causes cancers, causes all kinds of things. So this actually goes in and says, you're not going to stay here. You're not going to cause any harm. We're going to get rid of you. We're going to teach your body how to digest it. So, and then there's about 7 different adaptogen blend superfoods. So I encourage, and they're all basically do the exact same thing, but I love that there's 6 of them, because whatever level of stress you're on, you can be relieved with that particular blend together. So basically what they do as a whole together, they reduce stress and anxiety, relieves free radicals, which, cause cancer. They remove symptoms of depression, which, again, we saw that earlier, the mood, which is a lot better from the antioxidant blend, and it fights inflammation, the anti-aging and stress relief. All of those are some of the exact same things we saw in that antioxidant blend as well. So the last one is the digestive blend. And I think this is so unique because a lot of people don't realize how important it is to have great gut health for all over health. And so most of the time it's really popular. And if you can't go number 2 or you have problems, just go have you a probiotic and you'll be fine, over the counter, or, whatever it is. Well, the problem is there is only 2 FDA approved probiotics that will actually get through the stomach acid and actually into our intestines. There's only 2 of them. So what is a prebiotic and a probiotic anyways? Well, it is something that stimulates the growth of a microorganism, especially those with beneficial properties. So when we actually go in and those probiotics get past the stomach acid and they get in our intestines, we are supposed to have bacteria there. And so a lot of people who are not in balance with their bacteria, that's when they start, either their stool gets either heavy or constipated, or they have bloating, they have real stomach pains. A lot of times people who are allergic to gluten, that technically, if you look at it through a holistic version or a holistic approach, there is no such thing as a gluten allergy. What it is your health is out of whack, basically is what it means. And so whenever you want to get it back into check, you need a prebiotic and both a probiotic, because just one is not going to get you the balance you need. So the amazing probiotic that actually is one of the 2 that is FDA approved is Bacillus coagulus, and that is actually what is in Shakeology. And so that is the one that actually goes past the stomach acid and actually into the intestine, because to me it makes me feel so good that I'm going to actually take something and then I'm actually going to get the benefits from it. So the prebiotic that is amazing is amylase. Of course, I think I totally botched that again. But it helps to digest those extra fats and proteins that are in our bodies. So remember what I said about, and it happens a lot in people who are really heavy on the keto diet, where they eat a lot of heavy fats and they eat a lot of heavy proteins. After a while, you will have the weight loss because you will be in the ketosis. But the problem is you will have totally messed up your digestive system as far as the balance between the microorganisms in your gut, that you will start to have, your body will start to shut down on you, and because it will be overpopulated, and especially in diabetics. I know a girl, well, Katrina, she's on here, her dad is diabetic, and you can't have high levels of the, your blood sugar level has to be regulated. Well, when your gut isn't digesting the extra fats and those extra proteins, they turn into glucose and extra sugar. Then at that point, that's when he starts having, going to, the comas and getting sick. So it's really important for our body to be in balance and not just total, like we are supposed to eat the C word, the carbs. We are supposed to have those on a portion container amount. So it is important to be able to have a balanced diet with this. And whatever you're not getting 100% balanced, Shakeology will go in there and balance it for you. And that is what I think is so amazing, because honestly, the benefits from Shakeology are so good that a lot of people after a while feel like it's not doing anything. But what it is your body is getting to a place of such great health that is what you're used to. So you have to be off of it for a couple of weeks to be able to really tell the difference. Oh my gosh, I totally felt amazing when I would be consistent with this. So those are really the amazing benefits of Shakeology. Did anyone have any questions about any of this?
It's not that I have questions, it's just that I have to reread it. It's so interesting, and like I've heard some of this what you're saying, but it's like you have to hear it a few times for it to sink in. Like these facts are so incredible, and I'm just thinking, like, if we just shared this in a funny way all the time, or not funny, but like in just a light way, you even going on your story, and I mean, I think you said the words perfectly, but maybe when I read them, I would say it the same way you said it, but like, just going on and being like, I don't even know if this is how you say it, but it's in my shake that I drink every day, and you can't get that from your $20. People always say like, oh, I just get my chocolate protein powder at the grocery store, and I'm like, well, what's in that?
Yeah. Your chemicals. Exactly. And I know, and it is a lot. I'm going to share this.
No, I love it.
So y'all can have it for later use. And there, like Shakeology, like I have a bag here. There's a lot. If you'll actually look on the back, there's a lot that I didn't even cover.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is kind of the same info. And that's another thing that I love about it is anytime that Shakeology, anytime they add to it, they're not changing what it is. They're just making the benefits stronger for us. So like when matcha and Rashi were actually added, I think about a year and a half ago, all those did was totally increase the stress levels, because they did, after research, that's what people needed the most is the, stress relievers. So
True.
The only thing that I will tell you is whenever you try to compare Daily Sunshine to Shakeology, the only differences are the adaptogens. So they basically have the same qualities and the same benefits, but to be pediatric approved, any type of mental stress relief cannot be it is just not kid approved, and you'll never get it that way. So depending on the child, or depending on if they want to give it to their child, you can suggest Daily Sunshine, but honestly, they're getting the exact same benefits, and then you can just share the bag with them. So.
And then can I ask this? I know this is not what I said the call was about, but on the fly, to put you on the spot, when you're talking to someone about Shakeology, could you give anybody any tips or any, kind of how you handle those objections that we all get? I don't want anyone to ever think that they're not doing their job when they're getting objections. Getting objections is a good thing because you can hear what their thought process is. But what are some of the ways that you help navigate through that conversation with grace, but yet informing them?
Sure. No, and I think that's what you said is wonderful. I actually was telling my team, this month has been really hard. I literally have gotten 100 no's this month, 100, but I've went into massive action, and you want to get to that no mark. So no matter where you are in your journey, you will always hear the word no. So don't give up on that. Of course, everybody has like this little script that they kind of go off. Of course, it's your verbiage, but it's a little script. And so something I always ask, because I don't ever want to push nutrition onto somebody, because nutrition is going to be the hardest one to sell, and because people's minds think that they can outrun their fork, and unfortunately you can't. So I always ask, I kind of give them, the little spill about, whatever program we're on. Of course, we're doing Lift 4 right now. You sell them on the 4 days, and then I say, are you into fitness and nutrition? And they'll, like, if I get one that just says fitness, I say, okay, well, I don't want to pressure you into anything. I just want to be upfront with you and let you know that in the accountability group, you will not be seeing the same results as everyone else who is doing the combination. Can I give you the information on it, and you can make more of an educated decision at that point? Sure, no, that's fine. So what you have done, even if they come back and say, no, that's not for me, you have planted those seeds about how amazing Shakeology is. And something that I have started recently doing, I can't remember which top coach told me, but they don't share the ingredients video. They actually share, there's a separate YouTube video. It's a Darren O'Lean, and it talks about actually finding, going and finding the amazing ingredients for Shakeology, because it doesn't have as much pricing right at first. So a lot of times when people say that they, really need both, I really try to figure out where they are. So I ask, well, what are you eating for breakfast? How do you feel in the mornings? Because a lot of times if they know that they can start their day actually energized, actually have their eyes open, and actually not, and I tell a lot of people, I drink my shake on the way to take my kids to school. I don't even have the time that it takes in the mornings to blend it and drink it there. So I even take it, I'm even more motherhood, and take it with me. And a lot of times depending on what their need is, then I go in and let them know, okay, well, I have stomach issues. Well, did you know this probiotic that we have is not like the ones you get over the counter? It actually goes through the stomach acid and into your intestines. So you're actually going to be healed instead of just kind of masking your symptoms. If it's, a lot of people that I talk to also have a lot of, let me go to it where it has the, this anti-aging property. So a lot of people kind of my tribe has really bad acne. So I really try to talk to them about how the benefits of the antioxidants would clear up their acne, because it's actually healing them from the inside out. And basically the best way to do it is ask them to give you the info, ask if you can give the info 100% all the time, because even if they don't want it, you've planted that seed and it's still there, if that kind of makes sense.
Yes, and I just think asking questions, like even if you get in a situation, guys, and you're like, crap, what do I say? Asking questions and looking for where they're at, exactly what Marley said, like just trying to get a feel for what is going on with them so that you can help, something is missing from them, or they wouldn't be talking to you or following you. I mean, maybe they would be, but like something is missing. And what we do is say, oh, you have this puzzle piece missing right here, like here's Shakeology, and or fit, both, all of it. But awesome. Thank you so much, and I just love all of this, and thank you for sharing it with me. I know you said you were going to, so thank you ahead of time, because this will be something that I will put on my schedule to continue to review. And that's so funny, because like when I first started Shakeology and I felt so amazing, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn one ingredient a week. And I started that. Like I would look up, it was kind of like, I don't know, like on Mondays, I like looked up an ingredient and like tried to learn about it. And then I got away from that. Because you just, like you said, you just feel good when you're on it consistently and you forget how important it is. And that's what happened when I was in the hotel, is that some of my symptoms from my digestive issues, and it was hard to tell if it was Shakeology or if it was just being 8 months pregnant, but you start to feel like sluggish and crappy, and you just think, people just think that that's their normal, and I know I did forever. So this is such a gift, and so thank you for helping us learn more about it so that we can talk more about it, so that we can help more people feel not crappy. I don't know how to more gracefully say that.
No, you're 100% right. And one thing I want to say real quick is, don't think you have to know this all at once.
No.
Because nobody is going to say, what antioxidants are in that I'm going to drink, or what adaptogen blend is going to help me today. No, they're going to use common words like, I'm stressed out, my acne is bad, I'm bloated, and that can be your trigger. Well, we have, XYZ. So don't think you have to know it all.
And really, sometimes, like, I remember, I'm good with stories, and I remember your story, Marley, with you, your coach had the picture of the robe hung up. She didn't say, oh, all of these amazing adaptogens are in it. She just said, because I have been drinking this consistently, I don't remember exactly what she said in her post, but I was the mom that I wanted to be, as opposed to the mom that was struggling and couldn't do it. And that was powerful for me, and wanting, I cried when you told that story. And that touched you, and then you didn't hear her say the specific adaptogen that fixed that for her. You just heard her story. So when we just connect and say, hey, I was this, now I'm this, people hear that, So, well, thank you. I can share this recording with you too if you want to share it with the team, because it was so good. So,
when if I can get my Canva to work, I'll put it into the slide and send it to y'all.
Okay, yeah, and no worries. You're gonna have to teach me how to do that, because my team is not as lucky. I literally show all of my slides from Canva, so you're gonna have to teach me how to do it different. I'm always like, hold on, guys, I have to make it big.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, you have to stop sharing your screen and then I can do the thing. Okay. Yeah. Oh, do we want to take a picture? Does anyone care, or Instagram it? Come on, guys. Let's just do it.
I took one of y'all a while ago, but it'd be nice to get one. It'd be nice to get one of y'all smiling.
Okay, let's do it. We'll smile. So 3, 2, 1. I was stick my tongue out. I don't know why I did that. And then I always boomerang it, so I'm gonna boomerang. So do something funny movement in 3, 2, 1. Rachel's just looking up. I'm keeping it. I love it. Okay, guys, thank you so